areas are underway. This comes after authorities in Warrap and Central Equatoria State appealed for the drug recently. The areas, among others, have reported increase in snakebite-related deaths. In recent months, 24 people died of snake bites in Warrap State, 10 in Unity State, 6 in Volo County of Western Equatoria State, 4 in Lanya County of Central Equatoria State, and 2 in Akoka County of Upper Nile State. The Undersecretary at the Ministry of Health, Victoria Anim Majur, says the ministry, in collaboration with the World Health Organization, are now making the necessary preparations to set offices and train health workers to be deployed in those areas. Speaking to iRadio, Dr. Victoria pointed out that this will ensure the drugs are not mismanaged.
It's very expensive. One carton few 10 ampule بيكلف $100. But now with the flood affected areas, we have solicited some support from WHO. And WHO is the one procuring it on our behalf. They solicit from other people and they bring. So we're working on giving it to some of the flood affected through the WHO offices in the state. But like that, it can get out of hand. And these issues of people trying to mismanage and do irregularities. It can even end up in the market. So we're working with the WHO office in the state. Every state has a WHO focal point.
And finally, before approaching the international news, the Egyptian Academy and IOM South Sudan have graduated 36 people with disabilities after they were trained on different vocational fields. The graduates include persons with visual and hearing impairment and other disabilities. They were trained on tailoring, basic computer and electricity knowledge. Peter Van de Awarate is the chief mission of the IOM South Sudan. Speaking during the graduation ceremony in Juba on Wednesday, he said,
that holds you back or can hold you back is that some people, not just someone said something about Africa or South Sudan, but in many countries in the world, when they look at you, they see a disability first and a competent person second. And that is the only thing that is holding you back, because you yourself have proven that your disability doesn't stop you from being good people, doing vocational training. It's not. You can do whatever you want. It's just sometimes outside people that are looking at you in the wrong way. We will continue to support you, your organizations, but also try to change the minds of people who are not disabled to look at you in a different way.
For his part, Henry Swaka, the Senior Protection Officer for People with Disability at IOM, stated that,
generally speaking, everyone wants to achieve their potentials, and that includes people with disabilities. And because myself, I am someone who's also visually impaired, but through my experience, I have realized that the only thing that can make a difference is education and training. And so, as it's the case for me, because I went to school and I went to university, and now I have a job and I can do lots of things. And I think that my impairment is no longer a barrier, so it can't stop me from actually achieving my dreams. My message to them is, one, you need to accept yourself.
Meanwhile, one of the graduates, Martina Jua, spoke to iRadio after the event. She could not hide her happiness for the achievements.
I think I'm very happy because this is the best day for my life. I have got something at least to improve my skills, and when I go from here, so I will be able to what? I will be able to raise my life alone. This academic achievement will empower me in many ways. So my words of encouragement to those with disability, let them not think that their disability physically, but their mind can reason, can do anything.
IOM South Sudan has provided vocational training skills to about 148 persons with disabilities in different parts of the country. You are listening to iRadio Afternoon News, and now to the international news. My colleague Joanne Mule joins us. Hello and good afternoon, Joanne.
Hello and thank you, Yar Ajak. Now to the international scene. Authorities in Nigeria have announced that government workers who have not received COVID-19 jobs will not be allowed into their offices from December. This effectively makes COVID-19 vaccines mandatory for federal civil servants across the country, a policy the government has been considering for several months. Chairman of the Presidential Steering Committee on COVID-19, Boss Mustafa, said proof of a negative COVID test done within 72 hours will be the only other option for government employees. The government has not made any mention of visitors to its offices. Away from that, police in South African city of Gqeberha, formerly known as Port Elizabeth, are investigating the setting alight of 3 shops run by foreign nationals on Wednesday night. This comes amid heightened tension in the area after 8 taxis and 2 cars were set ablaze following a confrontation between taxi drivers and some foreign nationals. But it is not clear if the 2 incidents were related, the Herald Live adds. And finally, a man arrested over a deadly bow and arrow attack in Norway had converted to Islam, and there were fears he had been radicalized, police have said. The 37-year-old Danish citizen is accused of killing 4 women and a man on Wednesday night in the southern town of Kongsberg. Regional Police Chief Ole Betrup Severud said officers had last been in touch with the man in 2020. He was arrested and questioned for several hours overnight. The victims were all aged between 50 and 70, Chief Severud told reporters on Thursday morning. That's all we had for the international news. Now back to you, Yar Ajak.
Thank you, Joanne Muller. Now to the sports news. My colleague Gala Moses joins us.
Starting with the national sports news. South Sudan Football Association, through its Central Referee Committee under the supervision of FIFA, will introduce its first training course for elite referees in the country. The Referee Committee will conduct a press conference on 15th of October 2021. To Kenya, a Kenyan world record holder Agnes Tirop has been found stabbed to death at her home in the western town of Iten, with police treating her husband as a suspect. The 2-time World Athletics Championship bronze medalist who finished 4th in the Olympics 5,000 meters final 2 months ago was 25. Last month, Tirop set the world record for a women's only 10-kilometer road race in Germany. A criminal investigation is now underway into her death, with police saying her husband has gone missing. Elsewhere, Brooklyn Nets Kyrie Irving says he's doing what's best for him in refusing the COVID-19 vaccine, a move that will see him sidelined from the NBA. The Nets have said the point guard will not play until he's eligible to become a full participant under New York City COVID-19 vaccine rules. Irving is unvaccinated, but regulations state all athletes who play or practice in the city have to be vaccinated. The 29-year-old says he will not bow to pressure to be vaccinated. Speaking about the issue on Instagram Live on Wednesday, Irving said, "Do what's best for you, but I'm not an advocate for either side." In England, Chelsea secured their first win in the season's Women's Championship League with an impressive display at Juventus. Erin Canbert's fine solo goal with just over half an hour gone had put the visitors ahead at the Allianz Stadium. Juventus responded almost immediately when Barbara Bonassa volleyed home from a cross. However, Parnile header gave Chelsea victory when she reacted quickly in a crowded area to turn in the winning goal. The win means Chelsea have 4 points from 2 games in Group A after they drew 3-3 with Wolfsburg in their opener. Header's goal continued her impressive start to the season for the Blues, with Denmark international's latest strike her 5th of the season in all competitions. The 28-year-old also scored the late equalizer against her former side Wolfsburg, who she left to join Chelsea last summer. Manchester United forward Anthony Elaga was subjected to an alleged racist comment by an opponent while playing for Swedish under-21s against Italy. The Swedish Football Association has said Sweden submitted an oral report to the match referee and delegate after the allegation by Elanga 19. The Italian Football Federation